are the craziest moments you'll ever see.
Centre field was in the middle of the car, and it's literally...
Whoa! Oh no! Well, and that's it. Oh no, that's a big crash.
Like how this legend had this crazy escape. Look how close that car is. That's insane. But speaking of insane, you gotta see this lunatic.
That is just the most idiotic thing I have seen in a long, long while.
This is without a doubt the most idiotic thing you could ever do. I'm not even sure what this guy was up to.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
Thank God nothing happened. But guys, I can't say the same for this race. Cause when these two drivers started to race aggressively,
Everyone just about squeezes through. We go on board with Alex and Hardy, but it's the opening moves off, and that's a spin. Oh, and that's a big accident.
it's crazy how in just a millisecond you can lose control of the car. Luckily nothing happened to the driver, but you can see how big that was. Later, you'll see the craziest moment in the history of F1. But first, you gotta see this. Definitely, this is one of the most shocking races in history. When the 2007 European GP started, bits of rain were already noticed by the drivers. But still, no biggie. Drivers started racing, no issues whatsoever. But then, literally on lap 2, it all went to
Button was running in, or does he?
It's another one, and this is going to get out. Just aquaplane not clear, sufficient.
Just within a couple of seconds, 6 cars had either spun out, collided, or gone sliding in the gravel. The whole track became a f***ing river. I mean, driving there was an absolute atrocity. The race got cooled off for a while, waiting for the rain to cool down. But when the race finally restarted, who would have thought that the best part of the race was what came next? The legends Massa and Alonso were battling hard. It was a great fight for the lead. It was just a couple of tenths between the two. Clearly things couldn't have gotten any closer. But after some laps, when both of them got desperate to win, chaos. So much so that it even became a big controversy in F1. But let them get back to that controversial lap first, and we'll come back to them. Till then, check this out. When these two drivers were fighting for a very, very serious position, P13, Maldonado took that way too seriously.
Pits and straight into Esteban Gutierrez, and you're right. Almighty shunt from the side.
That's why he's the GOAT, ladies and gentlemen.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Thank God nothing happened to Gutierrez. And I bet this cameraman must have said the same thing for himself when he saw this driver. Cause when this driver was making the corner, well, the thing is, he's in a rally car. That's Kawabata Masato, folks. Remember the name. What a cool guy. But speaking of cool, let's talk about our F1's Iceman here. The man who always gives very big explanations.
Kimi, did you have any temptation to go to drive the simulator to get better settings for you?
No.
Kimi has created many iconic moments, but my favorite is when he did the impossible at Spa. Cause when another driver had an engine failure, smoke covered an entire part of the track. I mean, nothing could be seen. So clearly, this meant drivers had to slow down, as they had no other choice.
Oh, look at the smoke, what's that? Raikkonen's going to have to lift. It could have been an accident, it could have been a fire, it could have been anything. Absolute commitment. That was absolutely extraordinary.
I mean, seriously, this motherfucker didn't lift at all. What a legend.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
But no excuse can be given for this incident, because when Esteban Ocon still had to do a pit stop, he had no choice but to come into the pits on the last lap. But when he came in, he got the biggest surprise.
People all over the pit lane.
Here he comes. Yes, he is. And there are a lot
What
of
is this about? It's absolute shambles. We could see it coming. Alpine could see it coming. What is going on?
How's that even possible? That's crazy.
But now, here's what happened between Massa and Alonso in that race. Since both got desperate to win, things got serious. And so, when Alonso tried to overtake for the lead,
Continually placing.
They touch wheels!
Incredible.
with Massa touching the McLaren, this broke off Alonso's side pod. But since only a couple laps were left, Alonso still made it work and won the race.
Fernando Alonso wins the European Grand Prix. What an extraordinary race. What an extraordinary drive.
But needless to say, he was not happy. And the crazy thing was how Alonso confronted him about it. So, for this whole scenario, who do you think was at fault there? Alonso or Massa? That race has seen some crazy moments, but it's still not as crazy as what happened in Spa 1998.
It was an all-McLaren front row for the very wet start.
Because literally when the race started, chaos.
Oh, this is terrible. Look, oh, this is quite appalling. This is the worst start for a Grand Prix.
11 drivers got taken out. 11. Thank God no one was hurt. And interestingly, most of the drivers still managed to race at the restart. But guys, even though those race conditions weren't the best, at least it was daytime, and so at least they could see the track.
Can't see him coming. He's an invisible 190 mile an hour.
Imagine driving at around 190 miles per hour with no headlights.
This could be a problem, not just for visibility, but also legally. You gotta have one headlight running at all times. This is insane.
I mean, seriously, you can't make this up. Easily one of the most daring moves I've ever seen. I love how the commentator summarized it.
He's an invisible 190 mile an hour bullet.
But look, now that we've reached the top 3 moments, you know the drill. Things are now gonna get much more insane. Like what happened here in Monaco. After earning pole position in '82, Renault driver René Arnoux' plan to win seemed airtight. He created a big gap. Everything looked good, but then on lap 14, he lost control.
Arnoux loses it altogether. Now, what about Prost? Is he going to recover? Prost will come through.
This made Alain Prost, who was in second place, take the lead. But still, after that, everything was going fine. Till the drama factor came in, and Prost, who was able to hold things down for a bit, also lost control.
Africa and Brazil, and there goes Prost. Off, as did Arnoux. My goodness, what about Patrese now?
To be fair, this was Prost's only second Monaco GP. So, with just 2 laps to go, Riccardo Patrese, now the 3rd leader of this race, passed the collision site safely, and it seemed like the win was his, until the final lap came. His car also slipped out of control, giving away P1 once again.
Pressure off, he only has to cruise around the finish and he's sliding and he's lost it! 0-0-0, can he keep the engine running? Because he can still win the race if he can just get the car going again.
With Patrese spinning, now Pironi was the one who took the lead. And so, on the 4th try, finally it seemed like we got the race winner, until Pironi ran out of fuel.
Through the tunnel for the light. Is that Pironi stationary? It is! My goodness!
Must have run out of petrol.
Yep, that happened. This made Patrese from earlier take the lead again, and finally win the race.
He takes the checkered flag and wins.
Only 5 cars made it to the finish line. 5 out of 20. And by the way, Riccardo Patrese didn't even realize he won the race. This finish was so chaotic, it even confused the race officials, and so it took some time to confirm the results. Man, all of that, and 4 lead changes in the last 3 laps. Now that's a crazy race. That race was indeed crazy, but nowhere close to what happened in this Macau GP.
The lights go out. Good start from Lucas Harris.
The race started normally. Drivers crossed turn 1 and on their way. So everything seemed fine. But who would have thought that those guys will only see turn 1 of that race?
Oh no! Well, and that's it. Oh no, that's a big crash.
That ain't no pileup, that's an entire roadblock. Thank God though, not a single driver got hurt. But now, out of all the things shown in this video, here's the craziest thing that happened in racing.
Here come the lights.
When Romain Grosjean began his race at the 2020 Bahrain Grand Prix, he already gained 2 places at the race start. So things started well. But who knew that in just a few seconds, his whole world will change.
I said the fuel was in the middle of the car, and it's literally... Whoa!
His car literally split in half and turned into a fireball as it slammed into the railing. Now let's put things into perspective. Grosjean hit the barrier at 137 miles per hour and absorbed nearly 67 Gs of impact. For context, an astronaut only experiences around 3 Gs during takeoff. In just a second, the whole world stopped. I saw this moment live, and I'll be honest, I didn't think it was possible to survive such an incident. But thank God he did.
Underneath the barriers.
Yeah.
Extraordinary.
Well, the halo saved his life.
Truly, one of the most incredible sights of the 21st century. He even explained how he got out.
Movement stopped, opened my eyes, and the first thing I did, undo the seatbelt, try to remove the wheel, it was gone, so at least one less concern, and then try to jump out.
Alan van der Merwe and Dr. Ian Roberts. This FIA's medical team arrived within 10 seconds. Roberts helped Grosjean out of the flames, while van der Merwe used an extinguisher to control the fire. They arrived, bravely went in, and saved Grosjean's life.
The big question was, where's the rest of the car and where is the driver? I did think that would be a very bad outcome.
Grosjean received over 100,000 messages from past drivers, astronauts, and even fire rescue professionals to make sure he was okay. Data even showed Grosjean's heart rate peaked at an extreme level, yet he still remained conscious throughout. Grosjean's crash inspired a redesign of the FIA's fireproof suits and gloves, extending fire protection from 20 seconds to 30+ seconds. The FIA concluded that Grosjean's incident was a 1-in-a-million scenario. So yeah, what Grosjean did is one of the craziest moments I've ever seen.
I'm the man that walked out of fire.